Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, by the way, I'm Ashmere and I aspire to give you some quick informative reviews along with some fun get ready with me, hopefully some brand histories. This channel really is a lot of all things makeup all of the time. Everything beauty related. It could be hair, it could be skin, it could be, I don't know, apparently refinishing my table is a topic that's going to come up and might get thrown in there. So thank you so much for joining me. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some reviews from my last Shop My Stash, and then hopefully I can tie this right into the new Shop My Stash. Hopefully that video won't be too long. So let's dig in. I'm going to go kind of in order of the way I apply things, so I try not to forget. So last week, I actually used this stash for 2 full weeks because I had my mom come into town. I got a little sick, so it kind of threw me off my game. So I used to record everything about 2 weeks out and then before it dropped. Now I'm kind of recording the same at the same time as I'm dropping videos. So I'm playing a little catch up. So I used these products for 2 full weeks. This was like the worst stash to have to use for 2 full weeks. And I think part of that is mentally when I shopped the stash, I thought, oh, I'm heading into fall. So I picked a few products that kind of were transition products. And then I kept them from 2 weeks and the weather has not changed. We're still at like 97 degrees here in Dallas. So definitely not the time to add some stuff that I would normally use in the fall. Not to mention, I haven't lost all of my tan yet, so some of the colors just didn't match me. So it was a very interesting couple of weeks, and I'm trying to hold myself really strict to only using these products and not grabbing things from my stash it sooner than I'm planning it. So it was just a rough couple of weeks. So we started out with these primers. So I used the Spackle from Laura Geller and the Undercover from Marc Jacobs. So Spackle from Laura Geller, this one is the hydrate version. It's actually a really nice primer. It's more of like a lotion than anything else. It doesn't really do a ton of smoothing or anything for the skin, but it looks really pretty. The Undercover from Marc Jacobs is a more traditional silicone primer. This definitely does more as far as like smoothing out pores. It has a slip, it's definitely a silicone slip. I have no idea what the ingredients are, but I'm gonna tell you, this is a silicone primer for sure. What I ended up doing with these is I ended up mixing them and creating kind of a combo. They ended up working remarkably well together when I literally would pump a little bit of one and put a little bit of another and then pat it into my skin. So I liked the finish. I like how they feel. Even on my hand, they're now layered on top of each other. They felt really nice, but I felt like I needed a little more hydration than the Marc Jacobs was giving me, but I wanted what this would do for me, for my makeup. So mixing them together turned out to make a pretty damn good primer. So all in all, I like these. I will keep them in my stash, and I'm looking forward to using them again. Foundation wise, this is where the hiccups started. So none of these ended up being great this week. So let's start with the Fenty Beauty. So I had the Pro Filter. This is shade 260. This ended up being way too light for me right now. Like you can even see it on my, like that is just so light right now. Beautiful, gorgeous foundation, but it's semi-matte. So once it sets on the skin, there was just no life. It was like sucking the life out of my face. Also, it didn't help that this week I wasn't feeling so well with my allergies. I felt like I was getting sick, and this just, it did not look cute. So I was putting this on and immediately I just wanted to take it off. Like it was horrible. I gave it a try 3 or 4 times and it just never worked out. It's also not a great formula for like 8 million degree weather. I feel like it just was doing my skin no justice. So this is a bummer because I really like this foundation, but I think it's more of a winter foundation. Then I had the Laura Mercier. So the Laura Mercier, color-wise, was a much better color for me. So you can see that already looks better. But it's, even though this is a more, a brighter finish, it's not a semi-matte, it was still a little too much coverage for this time of year. So this is the Flawless Radiance Perfecting Foundation. And then my color is 3N 1.5 Latte. Color-wise, awesome. Coverage-wise, it was a little too heavy. So again, this is a foundation. When I first picked it up, it was winter. But the color match is so spot on that I thought I'm going to like it. Didn't love it. I think, again, it's just the time of year. It did not go well with the weather. And I tried all of these, by the way. I did give them a shot with primer, without primer, with, you know, I tried them with a different primer. That was, I guess, the plus side of having this stash for a couple of weeks, was I really got a chance to try them out a few different times with a different combination, and it just wasn't right. The last foundation I had was the Milk. This is the Sunshine Skin Tint in SPF 30. It's upside down no matter which way I do it because it's also backwards. But this is the color Honey. So this was, first of all, I absolutely adore this foundation. But this was a situation where the color was just completely off. So this was the best foundation of the 3 I tried. But the color was so light that I would put this on and then be like, oh, I don't know what to do with that. So I had forgotten how light this was. I need to go up at least 2 shades from this. And I don't even know if they make it. You can see I've used this a lot. I do love this formulation. It's an SPF 30. It's really good for the hot weather. I think it was just too light. So I need to go up a shade, but that was a mistake. Then I had the e.l.f. Camo Foundation. So this is another scenario where I have shade 280N, and it's a good shade match for me. Yeah, you can, yeah, it kind of goes on. You can't even see it. It's kind of perfect. Really good shade match for me, but hated it in the summer weather. I bought this when it first came out, which was the winter, and I absolutely loved it. I would even use it by itself. And in the summer, oh God, it was horrible. So I wanted it to perform like my MAC foundation, Studio Fix foundation, and not at all. So even just dusting it on, it just looked cakey and disgusting on my skin. And I think that has a lot to do with like the weather and the humidity right now. It doesn't do well in hot weather humidity. So no, foundations this last couple of weeks were a struggle bus. So I'm really glad to be done with that sesh. Eye-wise, I had a few. So I had the Urban Decay Beached palette. This was really pretty. I used it enough times to get all of the colors in. It was a great palette. Loved it. Awesome. Then I did the LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay. And I absolutely love this palette. This became a go-to because these peachy shades right in here and even this line here look so beautiful by themselves. So I will admittedly, I don't think I touched this teal row at all. I did use these a few times. I hardly ever use this top one here. But these kind of became my go-to in the mornings when I was getting ready, and I just wanted like one color, one and done, because I didn't have time for work. Love them. And I love that formula, by the way, guys. If you're looking for a palette that doesn't break the bank, these are deep pans. It's a heavy palette. It's got a gorgeous mirror in it. You know, this is a, 16 pan eyeshadow palette for, I think it's 18 bucks. LA Girls formulations, especially in this collection, like the big square palettes, these are amazing formulations. I 100% recommend them, and I have a few of those. So definitely grab it if you're looking for something that won't break the bank, but can, I think the quality is up to par with like your Urban Decays and your Too Faced. I said it, that's my verdict, but it's specifically in those 16 pans. I have a few other LA Girl palettes that I feel like the formulation's a little different, so just keep that in mind, and hopefully I'll talk about those soon. I also had in there my tinted. This is my single stick in Change. This is beautiful. So this is just this really pretty copper single shadow, and this also was a lifesaver all week when I was getting ready for work and just needed to go quick. Beautiful. So this is a clean beauty brand. You can find this, I know for sure, at Credo stores. I'm sure they have a website, so 100% recommend the tinted. It's called Live Tinted. The I in tinted, it spells out the word live. Maybe it's Live Tinted. Why am I out of focus? There we go. So maybe it's Live Tinted or Live Tinted. I'm not 100% sure, but check them out. They make other colors in this. I think this is beautiful. It has really good staying power. Like I said, I have the color Change, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. Mascara wise, so I shopped in this week. I shopped in my MAC Magic Extensions. This is getting trashed literally today. I only saved this tube to do this review, and then it's trashing. It was that bad. So here's the story on this. I first bought it when it launched. I bought a mini tube of this. I loved that mini tube so much, and this is about this time last year. I bought that mini tube. I loved it. I used it all the time. I was telling everyone they needed this foundation. So then I think it was Christmas or maybe 21 Days of Beauty last year. I don't know. At some point last year, I want to say it was December-ish. Maybe it was September. I can't remember. This mascara was half off at Ulta. And my friend sent me a message saying, hey, your favorite mascara is 50% off today. And I'm like, this is how much I was telling everybody how amazing this was, that my friends were telling me it was on sale. They knew that I wanted it. I snagged a full size up. I didn't open it right away because I had 17 other mascaras that I had open. I can't remember when I opened this, but it was sometime this year, within the last 6 months. I literally had it in a box until, probably like May. So this isn't very old. It's definitely within the 6-month range of opening it. I opened it and I put it on and I went, huh, why did I like this so much? It like lost, the mini size was mind-blowing. The full size was like, eh. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, I shopped this into my stash and I went to use it and I went, oh God, it is horrible. It was clumpy. It's not dried at all. It's not dry at all. This, it's still nice and goopy. It's just not the same as that mini was, and I hated it, and it breaks my heart to throw this away because I hate throwing out makeup that isn't dry and done. That's how much I hated it. So MAC, if you're listening, because I'm so sure that they're paying attention to this tiny YouTube channel, do better. Do better. The mini of this was phenomenal. The full size, trashed. That's how bad it was. And I do not trash product, as my collection can tell you. So yeah, that's my soapbox, and now I'm off of it for this 5 minutes. We'll see. In the meantime, I will say, still kicking and going strong is the Lash Flash from Ulta Beauty. Really liking that mascara. I'm still loving my Lash Princess, no matter what anybody else says. And I'm still keeping in tight rotation my Persona. I'm looking for it. That's what I'm doing. I'm still keeping in tight rotation my Persona Cosmetics eyeliner. So that's, you know, being rotated in consistently. Blush-wise, this week was an excellent week for blushes. I started out with the ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in Melrose from the Fashion District collection. Absolutely still loving this blush. I can't believe I forgot about it. I can't wait to have it in rotation again. In fact, I was so tempted to rotate it back in, but I'm really trying not to. Amazing blush. Highly recommend. I love ColourPop blushes, but their cardboard packaging, when they come out with these limited editions, I don't think they have the Fashion District collection still, but I'm pretty sure that they just repackaged this and put it in a different color, because that's kind of what they do. But if you see a neutral shade in ColourPop in this packaging, grab it. It's such a great product. The other blush I had was my Nars Taj Mahal, which is my all-time favorite orangey orange. This is so orange. Look at that. But I absolutely love this color. I wore it a couple times before I started feeling sick. And then I stopped reaching for it just because I wasn't feeling well and it was a little too orange. When I'm not feeling great, I tend to go more neutral. But it was a great blush. This was actually disappointing. So this was my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush in Bora Bora, I think. No, St. Bart's. So I will say I was actually disappointed with this. I love this formula, but I don't know what it is. Maybe mine's old. I don't think that's possible because there's so much product in there. But this I wore a few times, and it actually ended up going patchy halfway through the day. It is not by any means nearly as bad as the Undone blush from last shopping cycle that I had to come back and show you guys like how atrocious. Like, it never did what the Undone did. I just was incredibly disappointed with this, and maybe it was a color thing, like I wasn't feeling this color or something. But normally with these blushes, I feel like they give me life, and that's the reason I opt for them. I love the Luminous formulation, but I was very like wah about it. I have a bunch. I think I have the entire collection, so I'm going to obviously keep playing with them. But I was very like underwhelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed? Good movie. I was very underwhelmed with this one, and that's very weird because usually my cream blushes are just kind of like my go-to holy grail. So, then lippies. So I had my Nars Vents in there, which still one of my absolute favorite. Kind of rotating that one in and out. I rotated it out for this week. Who knows what'll happen. Then I had my my YSL. This is my and Shine. This was my Rouge Volupte in Rock and Shine. I say this every time, but guys, can we please have a moment to appreciate the gorgeousness that is this tube? Like, hi. So she's amazing. She feels so good. She smells so good. Look at that gorgeousness. I absolutely love this color. I will never be sick of it. And I'm holding on to summer, so I'm going to kind of keep this one in my rotation. It is that good and deserves to be worn as often as possible. This was also beautiful. So this was my Buxom in Taylor. So actually really similar shades. There's more body to the YSL Rouge Volupte. This is definitely more sheer, but they're, you know, they're sisters. They're not twins, but they're sisters. And I mean, obvious differences looks wise. On my hand, they look very similar. On the lips, they actually look a little different because this is more opaque than this. So this goes on very sheer and glossy. And this, while it has a gloss and shine to it, it's very opaque. So it gives you a little more oomph. Oomph. That's a technical term. The other color that was in here was my Smashbox LA Gloss lip gloss, which has officially made it back into my purse. So that's not here, but that's how much I loved it. It's just such a great product. And when I'm at work and I just want to touch up, my lips are feeling a little dry, that is just kind of the best product to throw on. I never get sick of it. If you ever see those those Smashbox LA glosses, highly recommend. I have quite a few shades. The nudes are my absolute favorite, but the formula is really the standout for those. They are very hydrating. They feel so good on the lips. They're not plumping. They're just a gloss that really keeps your lips feeling nourished. So those are the verdicts for my shopping trip number 2 from September. Thank you guys so much. So hopefully right now what's happening is I'm jumping into a new shopping trip. Okay, so it's time to pick primer, and I kind of thought I knew what I wanted, and now I couldn't decide once I started looking at it. But I think for sure I'm going to snag this one. It's the Burt's Bees Goodness Glows. I actually don't think I've ever used this. This was a pay it forward from another friend. She thought I would like it. So I'm finally going to get around to trying it. Because I'm still holding on to to summer. God, not fall. I think I'm going to still keep it a little glowy. Oh, I know. Okay, so I'm going to do this XX Revolution primer. This isn't really too much of a primer. It's more of like a glowy serum. But my face has been feeling really dry. This is the Cloud Elixir. And so I think I'm going to toss this one in my mix this week as well. And I think we'll just do those 2 primers for now. Oh my gosh. So foundation is a whole other ordeal. Spoiler alert, in case I haven't posted this yet, I'm not a huge fan of the foundations I had last week. So, okay, so I'm going to try to go for some that I know I like. So I'm going to first toss in this IT Cosmetics CC Plus Oil-Free Matte. This is one of my favorite formulations of this, so I want to play with that. Again, I'm still clinging to summer, but I've lost a lot of my tan, but I'm still not super light. So, and I'm still kind of feeling like I want glowy. Oh, I definitely know. Okay, so I'm going to shop in. It's this one from e.l.f. This is the Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I use this as a foundation. It can also be a primer or like on top. I'll give it a full review when I use it for y'all because this is actually a really great product and I'm going to shop that in. And I have been doing also a powder. I'm getting... Oh, my powder options are not my favorite things right now. Let's be real. Oh, I forgot I had that. Okay. Sorry, I got really excited about that. You know what? I'm going to shop in this Clinique. It is what is it? The Beyond Perfecting Powder Foundation. I haven't used this in ages, so let's shop it in and see how we feel about this guy. So brow product wise, I finished one. I need something else for filling in my brows. So I want to shop in my Precisely My Brow from Benefit. This is shade 5. It's a little dark, but I don't mind that. So I'm going to shop that one into my stash. And then I'm also this guy. I'm going to shop in my Anastasia Brow Freeze. I haven't used this in a minute. I am loving keeping my brows fluffy, and it's still super humid here. So I'm going to shop this in and give it some really good reviews. All right, cool. I have been thinking that I really wanted some low maintenance stuff for eyeshadows this week because I have to get up early for work. It's just still super hot during the day. And even though I'm in the office all day long, like I step out for lunch and it's just muggy and disgusting. But I did get my new Natasha Denona palette last week in my BoxyCharm. So I'm going to shop this in because I really want to play with her. So I think what I want to do is stick to maybe a couple singles. So I'm going to go pull out my singles and we're going to shop those real quick. Okay, so I think these are all of my single shadows that I finally kept. I barely remember to open this box, so this was like an excuse to do it. I have a bunch of shadows from Butter London, which I think might be defunct now, and these may be dry. I have some singles, like a L'Oreal single here. This is, oh my gosh, Fiona Styles, which is definitely defunct now. I have my Christian Dior, that's like my all-time favorite. A bunch of ColourPop Super Shocks, and then all of these glitters from e.l.f. And then all of these loose glitters from NYX. And I think there's a couple of MAC ones in there. Oh no, those are Ulta. Oh, look at that. I have more glitters somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, here they are. No, but I had panned ones too. Anyway, I digress. What is not normally in here, but I'm shopping it in because I really want to, is this is from Well People. This is so old. This is the Purist 61. It's a mineral blush. These things don't go bad because it's just mineral powders. Look at this. It's loose mineral powder. It's supposed to be a blush, but I use this to make a monochromatic look. So I use it on the eyes, lips, face. I actually have a clear lip gloss that I've poured the mineral into, and it creates the best lip gloss. And I feel like doing that. So I'm going to add that into my shopping list. And then I've really been thinking about these glazins. I used to love, this is Oil Slick from Butter London. This used to be my all-time favorite. Just such a great look. It's just beautiful, and whichever way the light catches it kind of looks a little different. It's lost its jelly finish. I wonder if any of these still have it. That one kind of does. It's the same color, just not panned yet. And then this one is so pretty. It was more of a pinky, but since Purist is really pinky, I think I'll leave this one for now. What's this one? Oh gosh. Oh, that one is pretty. Oh, that one's still jelly. Look at that. That's how they're supposed to be. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Okay, so I think I'm going to shop this color in actually, because they hold up really well in the humidity. So that's 2. And I think I'm going to, just for the heck of it, because this is always a great go-to, this is my cream shadow from Christian Dior. I've bought this so many times. I pan it all the time. So this is Dior Show Fusion Mono in Meteor. And I'm going to shop this in because I haven't used it in probably a year. So those are going to be my 3 singles to go with my Natasha Denona palette. Yay! Oh, blushes and highlight and bronzer, all in one, really. The bane of my existence because I know what I want to use, but I'm trying to use different stuff. So one thing I didn't mention is I am removing the stuff I already used. I've kind of taken it out of this box already, and I have it in a different box. So I'm doing that with most of the things in my bins just to make it easier for moving forward shopping. I think this week, so I already pulled out that Purist Mineral 61 that is going to work as an eyes, lips, face. So I'm going to set that aside. So that's technically both an eyeshadow and a blush. I think, let's see here. Oh, that's better. Now you can see the whole box. Okay, so I've technically already pulled a blush because I pulled that Purist 61 from Well People. I don't know why that's in there. You don't belong in there. So I think I am going to toss in, oh, maybe, do I want to try you? No, not really. I sure don't. That was short-lived. Oh, this is a beautiful orange, but I'm not feeling super orangey this week. Oh, wow, I forgot that. I didn't know. Oh, I know. Well, okay, so this one's pretty dead. So we're going to throw it in, shop it in. And this is from Laura Geller. This was ages. This is the Blush and Highlight Spice Chai and French Vanilla Highlight Duo. I've never used this as like a highlighter and blush duo. I've always just swirled the two together. I actually used to love this formulation. And I've obviously had this for so long that it's not even together. So let's shop it in. And see if we like it this week. And then I always want to take a moment to add a cream. Oh, what's this? Oh, I think, oh yeah, this is gorgeous. This is from Kiko Milano. This is so pigmented. I think I'm not going to shop this in yet because the tones of the other two blushes are very similar. I think I will finally allow myself to shop this one in. So, well, no, hold up, rewind. That leaves me with no cream, and I need a cream this week. Okay, because in the interest of working through my collection, and I might do a full video on just cream blushes and give you comparisons on formulas and things like that. I'm going to shop this guy in. Okay, so this is the Keys Soul Care. This is the, I forget what these are called. They are Sheer Flush Cheek Tints, and this is the color Powerful. I actually really like this color. It doesn't look as bright on the person as it does in the pot, but it's a beautiful color. Again, I'm still holding on to summer, so we're going to use that. I'm still not into highlights yet. Like, I know they're going to come back. I know I'm going to want them. But since I am holding on to summer, maybe I'll actually add a bronzer this week. Oh, there she is. Hello. Okay. Oh, she's not really bronzy. That is, I forgot how gold that is. So, still smells good. This is Estee Lauder's Bronze Goddess in Heatwave. Obsessed with this packaging. Hello. I love it so much that I bought a new one just to have a spare. Oh, wait. Hold that thought. This is a different color. Oh my stars. Can we... Oh my God, she smells just as good. Wait, I cannot believe this. So I have had Heatwave open and been using it for probably a year, maybe 2, probably 3. And it is shade 1. I thought I picked up the exact same one. I didn't. I picked up shade 2. Well, damn. I mean, she's so pretty. I don't want to. I'm not ready to jump into this yet. She's too pretty. But can we all take a moment to admire her? Like, hi. Gosh, I love Estee Lauder Cosmetics. So we're going to put her right back in her box because, first of all, hi, look at this teal. This is amazing. So we're going to put her right back in and love on her a little later. And let's do Borrow Her Sister. And even though it's a highlighter, we're going to try to make summer keep happening. So, all right, sister, you're coming out. Woo! I'm suddenly very excited. So last week I ended up shopping in a mascara after all. So I'm going to do that again this week in an attempt. So I'm always going to keep my kind of go-to is currently the Lash Flash from Ulta. Loving this mascara, and I'm going to keep her as my base. But I'm going to shop in a new one each week just to kind of give me an alternative. And this is the On Point from Pure. So we're going to try her this week. I'm also going to actually shop in a couple of colored liners, because one of my favorite things to do when I wear like a single shadow is just to add a little bit of something something on the bottom liquid line. And my favorite are like teals and greens. So I think, is there another? There's a pretty purple, but purple tends to make me look tired. So, ooh, okay. So we're going to shop in these three. So this is the Tint eyeliner in Haze. I think that's, no, the color is Forest. It's the Haze eyeliner by Tint in Forest. This is the NYX eyeliner crayon. Let me let that focus. Woo. And this is in Gypsy Blue. And then this is the Urban Decay Always On eyeliner, the Game of Thrones collection. I freaking love this color. I forget what the name of this was. It was the Night King. You can't really see that here. There you go. The Night King. So I'm going to shop in all three of these because I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm feeling like blue needs to happen around my eyes. Okay, and we're on to lips. This is probably the most infuriating part of anything because I have too many and I never know exactly what I want. Right now what I'm looking for is my little Frankenstein Lippy that I created with that mineral from Well People. I know it's going to be in a super basic, ooh, I just found it. So this is what it looks like. So I took an e.l.f. clear lip gloss and I pulled the little plug out of here and I took my little scooper and I poured that mineral in there. And this is the color you get. Can we talk about how gorgeous that is? This is literally me mixing a clear gloss with those mineral powders. So I'm going to shop this color in for my monochromatic look for the week. Probably two. Let's be real. So then I've been super into more creamy lips right now. My lips are feeling really dry. So anything that's a little more moisturizing, I have been super into. So that's kind of what I'm leaning into. Like so maybe I'll add this in there. So this is from Buxom. This is the Fiery. It is, what was it called? Powerful Plump Lip Balm. I remember this not having a lot of plumping, but I love that red. And so it's a balm, it plumps, but also has some color. So I'm going to toss that in. And then I feel like I'm going to want a nude at some point this week. And that's definitely not it. And the nude I had last week, spoiler alert, totally ended up making it into my purse. So it's not going anywhere. Oh, wait. Let's shop in. This was the serum balm from Make that came in my BoxyCharm. So we're going to shop that puppy in too. All right, so those are going to be my three lips. I love it. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. These three came in my BoxyCharm last week, so we're going to shop them in too. So into the blushes, I'm going to shop in this Dominique Cream Blush. Really excited for that one. Into the mascaras, we're going to shop in this Lawless guy, which kind of, we'll see how it goes. And then into the lips, let's shop in some lip liners, because I always forget these. And we'll see how Queen does. Woohoo! Okay, so here is the full stash for September. It's the third full stash of September. So lots of really cool goodies. We are going to try and give some serious reviews to. I feel I am totally ready to dive deep into these guys and tell you guys some honest and truthful. I want to be a little more thorough than I have been in the past. So here we go. Let's jump right in. See you guys this week with all the new goodies. Bye.